If you're not going to use them as tag team, don't use either one of them at all. Because again, yeah, Enzo Amore, one of the best mic persons they had in the past decade, that came up from the ranks. He's good, and I'm not going to take that from him. But he has no in-ring talent. I don't want to see him on 205 Live. I don't want to see him on a Monday Night Raw. If anything, he's better suited as a manager. More like a Bobby the Brain Heenan or Jimmy Hart. More like that. The Mouth of the South. Versus put him into a match with the Big Show above the ring, which he oiled his body to slide out of the ring and drop down and get hit by a big boot. Of course, Big Cass picks up the win. What's the fuck is the point? What's the point? And I'm just going to go over a couple of matches that truly doesn't make any sense. Natalya, didn't expect her to win. Natalya versus Naomi for the women's title on Raw on blah blah blah. Natalya versus Naomi for the women's title on SmackDown. Boom. Didn't expect Natalya to win. And she did win. And I actually believe that she can give out an impressive run on SmackDown. Of course, no mention of Charlotte yet because we're nowhere near WrestleMania yet. So, everybody, just wait because Charlotte will have her day. Of course, my thoughts and prayers and all that other good stuff goes out to Ric Flair, who I believe is doing better now due to the updates that I got a couple hours ago, but I believe he's doing better. He's walking around. He's getting out the ring. Of course, special shout out to Rick. Let's give him a woo. Woo! That's it. The fucking, yeah, so, of course, I'm fine with them changing the title with Naomi. But I think Naomi has a lot more to give than an Natalya. And what I mean by that, the kids are starting to back the glow. You see little girls out there with the glowing t-shirt. You see little girls out there with the braids in their hair, with the glow. They're starting to get it. So I would book her soon to regain the title. Because I think in ring wise, Naomi is one of the best women you got there, along with Natalya. The match wasn't bad at all. It was actually a good match. Only thing I would have took out was the title change, of course. Because that makes no fucking sense. Moving past that match, what else did they have on this fucked up card? I'll do the pre-show later, because the pre-show shouldn't have happened. You had John Cena versus Baron Corbin. Y'all, I've already talked about that earlier. I'm not going to go over it again. Then you had fucking Randy Orton versus Rusev. Now, the story of Rusev in the weeks leading up to this match is that Rusev demanded a title shot. Rusev is arguing and fighting and stating his case for a title shot. He's pulled some bullshit where he hasn't shown up to a SmackDown Live event when said that he was going to show up. He just bullshitted. So, when he finally does come back, and he starts, interacting with people and getting inside of the right mind frame, Rusev is not treated as a contender for the WWE Championship. Rusev is treated like a scrub. He loses a flag match against John Cena. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I don't even know why they had that match at fucking Battleground Battleground. Shouldn't have had it. Then he comes back from that to lose again against Randy Orton in a 15-minute squash match at SummerSlam? That's bullshit. Come on, you guys. Come on. Treat Rusev like a top-tier talent, and I bet you'll get a main eventer guaranteed. Maybe not, a 5-star main eventer. Maybe not that. Maybe lower main eventer. You can put him in a segment on SmackDown and have him close out the show in a match against whoever. I think that's what you'll get out of Rusev if you put the machine behind Rusev. Randy Orton's already been proven. There's nothing else you can do with Randy Orton. Nothing else. Unless if you're going to turn him heel and give me Randy Orton from 2009, there's literally nothing else you can do with Randy Orton. Moving past that, you got fucking Sasha Banks regaining the title against Alexa Bliss. I love Alexa Bliss. I think she's one of the best things that happened to the women's division since fucking Charlotte. Now, with that being said, Sasha Banks is one of my favorite in-ring performers. One of my favorite female in-ring performers. Because the way she moves in the ring is not like fucking mundane. She's doing shit. Remind me of the late, great Eddie Guerrero, especially in her Nikki Jack matches. She's working that person's whole body, flip after flip, and slamming them down to the mat. You know, going for the Hurricane Ranas. You dig me? Going for the fucking Super Seeders. That's what I like about her. She's not reckless. She's not uncontrollable. She's throwing it all out there like wrestling used to be. I'm going to throw it all out there, and if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. And she's capable of winning. I just don't believe that, again, the WWE doesn't see her capable of holding the title more than a day. If you're going to flip-flop the title, you need to put some time in between it. That's another thing I wanted to talk about on this episode. If you're going to flip-flop the fucking title, you have to put a substantial gap in between title runs. Because again, what's the point of taking the title off of her, off of fucking Alexa Bliss, who's already at her goddamn 4th title reign already, via Raw and SmackDown. Thank you very much. You got to fucking maneuver your people right. You got to build and then go ahead and have a title reign. The storyline leading up to this was supposed to be Bayley getting a fucking title shot. Bayley hurt her arm, so on and so forth. Again, when she hurt herself, the crowd gave her a booing ovation. Because, okay, you're fucking hurt, but you just won the number 1 contendership. Booing her. Sasha Banks, who was on fire after Great Balls of Fire, had to earn her title shot. When Sasha Banks was way more entertaining than that Bayley bullshit with the fucking pole match. A kendo on a stick on a pole match. Which was stupid. But then, this is how you treat Sasha. You build her up just to bring her back down. It's fucked up. All the way fucked up. New Day versus the Usos. Another great match. Another fucking great match. I think they should have stopped right here with the New Day and the Usos and start building another tag team. Yes, I understand that people are invested in the New Day and the Usos. I think the New Day sells more merchandise and the blah blah blah. And the Usos are more on a slow rise, if you will. If that's the case, of course you want to have 2 of your top tag teams in a rivalry. But I look at all the tag teams on SmackDown. I look at all the talent on SmackDown. And the fact that you can't give us pretty much a decent show for the past 6 weeks to 4 is bullshit. Just to go over a few names. And again, I'll touch on that towards the end. Fucking, this tag team match was also good. Also good. Me personally, I enjoyed it. Again, I think they could have did more with the pay-per-view, but for what it was worth, cool. Now, again, the Hardys. Let's go over this pre-show. Now, not much happened in the pre-show. You still had Sheamus and Cesaro in there. Let me touch on them. Sheamus and Cesaro versus fucking Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, 2 halves of the Shield. This match was actually a great match. Like I said, Beach Ball Mania, they want to get rid of that. And I can dig it. I dig it for the simple fact of cats like Cesaro, who hasn't gotten over when they should be over, just based off their in-ring talent. You don't need to fucking put Cesaro on the mic. You put him in the ring. Just like you do Brock Lesnar. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is getting a little bit more verbal now. But, again, somebody with the mic skills of a Paul Heyman, you really don't need to talk. Just saying. That's what Cesaro needs. And I think he'll be a better solo talent. I'm tired of seeing him and Sheamus together. I think it's time for them two to break up. I know Sheamus, you can do a lot with Sheamus. You can give him a championship run. He rarely do I hear Sheamus is injured, which is a good thing. Cesaro, a little bit more injury prone, but rarely do I hear Sheamus is injured. I would definitely either use these two in the mid card or lower main event card somewhere in between there. Because I think they're a great talent. Same with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I think putting them two back together without Roman Reigns is like half a pop. Like, it's not really, you're not getting the full dynamic of the Shield. Maybe you do something at Survivor Series where, Roman has now worked his way with, fucking Rollins and goddamn Dean Ambrose. They finally formed together or something of that nature. But I feel as though you have to book that effectively. And I think they did a great job leading into this with Cesaro, Sheamus, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. I think they did a hell of a good job leading all the way into this. But I think what happened was that they got caught up in the moment. And what I mean, it was a good SummerSlam moment, but after that, you didn't really plan it through. Because I damn sure would have threw them into some type of package with another valid team. But the problem that Raw has, you have no tag teams. Like, you really have no tag teams. Gallows and Anderson, they're doing squash matches now to fucking John Cena. Not even squash segments to John Cena and Roman Reigns. You dig me? The Hardy Boys, you're barely using them. And if you're not going to break them, if you're not going to give Jeff a solo run or Matt a solo run, what the fuck are they there for? They're just there. So, and that's pretty much the main event card. Now, my problem with the pre-show, a lot of the shit that went on with the pre-show, cats got major minutes. You had Finn Balor the Demon versus fucking what is this? Again, all this is off of memory. I'm just trying to re-gauge it. You had Finn Balor the Demon and fucking Bray Wyatt. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. You had Finn Balor the Demon and Bray Wyatt. Now, Bray Wyatt, you fucking fuck, and Finn Balor should have been treated for SummerSlam. And if you wasn't going to do it at SummerSlam, take it off the card and leave it on Raw. That's all you had to do. They had more heat on Raw than they had at fucking SummerSlam. And okay, you getting offended, you winning, you beating fucking Bray Wyatt 6 months ago would have been meaning something. Because Bray Wyatt was on fire. You being a Bray Wyatt on Raw that really doesn't have the weight that he had on fucking SmackDown means nothing. Really does. I really want them to do something with Finn Balor because right now he's playing the background. He's still owed a shot at the Universal Championship because, again, he had got hurt. He never really had a solid U.S. Championship run. And not the U.S. Championship, the Universal Championship run. So, I think he's old one. Kevin's old one. But, in a matter of time. Only in a matter of time. Because you never know what the fucking WWE is going to do. Pre-show was bullshit. Because nobody was in the crowd to watch the motherfucker. So, you had Tozawa. You had Neville. Shouldn't have took the fucking title off of Neville on Raw. Everybody knows that. You had Tozawa versus Neville. You had fucking The Miz and The Miz Taraj versus fucking Jason Jordan and goddamn the Hardy Boys. And that was quickly done with. And I forget the third match on the pre-show, but I think it was Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. I think. But that's SummerSlam. And SummerSlam was bullshit. As I can say, like I said, during this whole rant about SummerSlam that took me a little bit over half an hour, this is what it is. So, yeah. And that's pretty much my show. It's just to warm you up and gauge. I talked about some things. And, Raw and SmackDown, awful. awful. I'm really a SmackDown guy, but SmackDown is doing so bad now. And I would have to believe that